Hi everyone, thanks for coming back. I'm sorry if I got a little too long-winded in that last video about this table over here, but I really wanted to explain that before I get into my next table, which is going to be this one right here, which also has to do with Easter. But I just wanted to show this table that I just went over. It was actually this one right here. It's coming up in Exodus 21. It's these terms right here that come up. So there were some other terms that I had searched for. I didn't do too much searching with these tables that I had presented. But as you can see, it had words like Beltane, lion, roar, near death, because it was about Natan. And this one had Satan, star, fall. And the one that I have here is that one. And this one had headstone. So it had a lot of interesting terms, and that was just from searching it out just a little bit. But I may want to show you this one, or just a couple of them real quick before I get to the next table. This one had Bel, Tane, I think is over here in the blue, and it had Baal, and Easter, of course. And this one had the word lion and roar. They're kind of mixed, meshed in together. And Easter's over here in the light red and the Natan. And then near death is meshed in together at the top. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go to the next one. We'll just skip over these. I think I had done those in the last video. And then what happened is, after Easter passed, I thought I would just put in the word after Easter and see if that comes up in this one, and it did. But I started out by just searching this table. I had put in, I just wanted to see what would come up, so I put in the word marriage and Easter, because I still think there's something about Easter, even though Easter has passed. I think it somehow is connected, either symbolically or maybe because of a countdown from first fruits to Pentecost. I'm not really sure, but it's in a lot of tables, and it obviously is related to the first Passover, the first Easter, and that's why it comes up in tables that have to do with the Passover. But it seems to also relate to the Lord's second coming, such as this table right here seems to relate to the Lord's second coming, because you have the word marriage, you have Easter, you have Natan, so obviously it's relating to the end times, near death. And then this one has devil, fall. The previous one, I believe it had Satan, cast. And so you see Easter coming up here in the pink. You see near over here in the bluish purple. You see death in the yellow. Actually, devil is here in the yellow. The letters D-E-V-I-L. And then death is over here in the light blue. You have the word fall in the dark green. And you have Natan here in the lavender, going at an angle. And then you have the word May crossing through the word fall. And it's almost parallel with Natan. And this is actually coming up in Exodus 21. So it's just a little bit further down from this previous matrix, which is the one that had the word redemption. That was in Exodus 21:25 through 35. And then this one is in Exodus 21:6 through 18. So this is actually just above the other matrix. And they both have the word Easter. This one has the word devil and fall. They both have Natan. They both have near death, I believe. Let me see. Yeah, they both had near death. And they both have Natan. One has devil, one has Satan. So they seem to be related to each other, and they both come up in Exodus 21. And this one has some other terms. This one right here is interesting. This one has, you can see the word Israel right here in the yellow going at an angle. It also has, it reads at the top, marriage after Easter, nuke, Adam, war, Israel, Iran. And so you see the word Iran here in the green. You see Adam over here in the light blue going across, crossing through Iran. And then you also see war crossing through Adam. So it's an atom war or atomic war. And you see Easter here in the lavender going at an angle. And you have marriage after. And then you have the word nuke over here in the bluish purple going at an angle. So there were some interesting terms that come up in this one. So that definitely is relating to the end times. And then this one, you had the word wrath. Wrath is over here in the yellow going at an angle like this. You see Easter here in the lavender. And you see the word star here in the green. And you have the word death in the plain text. And over here you have mass. And let's see what else. Okay, these are some other. This one actually had the name Haman, I believe that's how it's pronounced, which is from the book of Esther. That was coming up in the plain text. I saw that name in there in the plain text, those letters that make that name. And there's some other interesting terms. You can see them right here, but I'm not going to go over all of them. And so what I did is, after that table, I thought I would just put in Jesus and delay, just to see what would happen, what would come up if I put that in. And interestingly enough, it came up, I recognized the matrix because this was the very first Easter table that I had done, which is the one, if I go back, this is the one that I have right here that I had featured, and it's called How God Saves the World in the Bible Codes, Part 1, and there's 2 parts to this video. And in this one it has the very first Easter table that I found. And so I recognized, when I put in the words Jesus and delay, I recognized the matrix is where I had that very first Easter table. So I put in the word Easter just to make sure. And you see it comes up right here, Easter. So Jesus, delay, Easter. And then I tried to do another table where I put in postpone, just to see what would come up. So I put Jesus, postpone, Passover, bride not ready. I just thought I'd put that in. And it came up. It came up in the Gospel of John 2. And actually this is about Passover. So that's why the word Passover comes up. But yeah, this one doesn't have the word Easter, but there's other tables that are on Passover that have the word Easter in them that I found. But yeah, this one came up, and over here you see the word ready in the blue, and you see not in the yellow at the top. You have bright over here. I don't know if that's the reason, but that just came up in when I put the terms in. But I had some other tables on Easter. Okay, here's one right here that I had just skipped over. It was this one over here. When I had added the word reap, it actually went to a different matrix. And this matrix is coming up in Matthew 26. And if you look at the matrix, you can see that it's when Jesus went to pray in the Garden of Gethsemane. So this is definitely about the Passover, the night before, or early in the morning. And so you see the word Jesus, you see the word delay here in the pink, and then you see the word reap here in the bluish purple, and then Easter comes at an angle over here in the lavender. So once again, you see the word Easter encoded in ELS form in a matrix that has to do with the Passover. And this is when Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane. And you see the word pass right here. I'm not sure if Passover comes up. I could try it just to see. Okay, Passover doesn't come up, but Easter does in that table. And it's the night just before the Passover, or early morning just before Jesus was taken from the Garden of Gethsemane. And so there's another one after that, which is this one here, where I put in the words postpone. And this one doesn't have Easter, but it has the word Passover. And I think I already did that one, so let me go to the next one. Okay, this is the one I wanted to show you. This one says Jesus, delay, Easter. And in this one I put the terms Pentecost. And I break it into two, but I still think it's valid, and I think you'll see why it's definitely valid in the next table that has those two terms in it that I'll show you, but that'll probably have to be in the next video. And then I put dead, rise, saint, holy. And you see over here in the yellow, you see the word rise, you see the word holy in the burgundy, you see Jesus here in the light red, you see the word delay here in the pink with the letters D-E-L-A-Y, and you see Easter going at an angle this way, and then you see saint crossing through the word Easter, and over here is the word dead. It's actually sharing the D in delay, it's sharing the E in Easter, and then you have the A in the green and the D in the green. So that's the word dead over here. And then over here in the blue you have cost, which is the second part of Pentecost. And then you see Pente over here in the bluish purple. So Pente and cost are meshed in with each other. And this one is coming up in Matthew 26, and this is in the Garden of Gethsemane. So once again, this is coming up during the time of the Passover, and you see the word Easter in ELS form. And the one that I just did before was this one that had the word reap, and that was coming up in Matthew 26. So I guess these are the same the same matrix